up to another good morning. Time to go. Got that smile upon my face, 'cause there's excitement in the chase. This I know. Yeah, I'm going for the ride and find myself I am alive, and I soar. Still I run toward the wind and let the challenge draw me in, 'cause I want more. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure.
Hi, it's boy Abunda. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to invite all of you to listen in, eavesdrop, watch my conversation with MJ Racadio on Blogtalk. That's going to be exciting. Conversations happening early in the morning. Where we go, what we talk about is certainly exciting. Be part of it, eavesdrop. Thank you.
Hi, this is Vina Morales, and you're watching Blogtalk with MJ Racadio.
Hey guys, this is Kian Talon of NCIS Hawaii, and you're watching Blogtalk with MJ Racadio.
What's up? This is Jessica Sanchez, and you're watching Blogtalk with MJ Racadio.
Hey everybody, it's Martin Rivera, and you're watching Blog Talk with MJ Racadio. Keep watching, stay stuck.
What's up, Doc? Bugs Bunny here. Or Eric Bausa, the voice actor. You're watching Blog Talk with MJ Racadio.
Three things to remember when applying sunblock on your face. Number one, please make sure you apply in an upward motion. Since our muscles and fibers on the face are upward, you would not want to go against gravity.
Auto Detail Nation.
Ceramic protection up to 7 years available.
Never wax again.
Reject dirt,
dust,
UV light,
water.
Carson, California.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, universe. I'm your host, MJ Racadio, and you're watching Blog Talk. Well, it's already summer, you guys, and we're going to make this summer even hotter. Yes, you heard that right. And say hi to Teddy for me from RLC Residence. Yes, you got that right. If you want to have a piece of paradise or somewhere in the Philippines, make sure to check out RLC Residences. You can message us after this amazing amazing episode because we're gonna have this is actually a blog talk history slash lifestyle episode, and we have a special episode tonight because we invited a co-host. She's just not a co-host. Let me tell you about her, about this amazing co-host of mine, uh, who is a YouTuber with 62K subscribers. Yes, you heard that right, and has 10 million channel views. Whoa, 10 million. So she also plays different roles such as being a social media manager, content creator, and artist at heart. She released her first single called Daydreaming that you can find on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. While working with Online World, she is also part of a nonprofit organization. Here's our family, Film Creative, that encourages unity and creativity. Also with Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Cerritos. With the virtual and real world, she wants to spread positivity and uplift others. Welcome to the show. Yo, it's JoJo. Let's call her up. JoJo. Hi. Thank you for being on the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for bringing me here. It's a huge honor to do this with you, especially you've been doing this for 10 years. Oh my God. And still doing multiple
Yes, a co-host this summer and amazing. So what are your plans this summer, JoJo?
I am actually going to Korea. So it's a
No
really
way. You're going to leave us this summer?
I am not leaving. We still are connected.
Absolutely. And what you've been doing, I know you've been very busy. You're all over the place. You're all over LA. And I know thank you so much. You kind of co-hosted my 10th year anniversary of Blog Talk, where we're still celebrating our 10th year anniversary. And we want everyone to get to know you a little bit. And I mean, how do you manage your time in this entertainment industry?
That's honestly still a challenge for me till this day, but I think just knowing what your priorities are. That's a very good question because it also helps me organize like what's important to me and like how can I manage all of these priorities while still hitting my goals. And you were asking what I was gonna do or like during the summer. So though I am a YouTuber and I've been doing it for a while, I want to really do that even more when I'm in Korea or when I'm going to Asia, because not only I'm going to Korea, I'm also going to go to the Philippines and Indonesia and just unite different cultures together and share my experiences with all of you. So I'm very, very grateful that MJ is here with me to guide me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you've been multi-talented, you're all over the place. And how do you get your inspiration? Share us.
You.
Oh boy, you
People
put
like
me on the
you.
spot.
It's true though.
No,
But
honestly, so what inspired you to get into this? Because, it's really hard enough, minority, and sometimes they call us Filipino, invisible minority, but, we don't really stop what we do. And how do you keep up with that? And where do you get your inspiration?
Oh, that's a very good question. No, but I was also serious when I said you too, because at the end of the day, like I'm
Now
really
I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
it's just I'm very grateful for the people around me. Like, of course, I did the work in like making the decisions or taking the actions to be where I am today, but also along with that, it's the people as well. And then I always think about why, like, why am I doing this? What is my life mission? It throughout life, it's gonna change. As well as priorities. But when I really think deeply of what's making me feel alive, that's what inspires me. And of course, like tapping within myself and also outside, like the outer sources. You could get inspiration from movies, from music, from people that you don't know. And like I said, that's why I mentioned like I legit mean you, MJ, because the people that are coming from a pure dark-hearted place is what keeps me sane. It's like, oh, there's actually light in the world. So I was like, okay, I want to add
That
more to
means a lot. Teddy
it.
said, thank you.
Ah, love you, Teddy.
No, that's sweet of you. That was unexpected. It means a lot, and
Mm,
so yeah. Are you excited with this episode because we have special
yes,
guests, and I know
very.
you're gonna co-host with me. Thank you so much for that wonderful, answer that you told me. Let's see if Kirby. I think let's read about him, and I came across with this guy, and it's just really funny. I met him at the Manila International Film Festival for the first time,
Wow.
and we're gonna talk about. I think I know who you are, and then he told me I know who you are.
Ah,
So we
I
kind of
love
like.
that.
So I really appreciate what he does, and he kind of appreciate what I do, and we finally became friends. And he was part of. He was there. He witnessed a decade, a diamond year of Blog Talk with MJ
Oh,
Racadio, and you were there
but my first time meeting him, finally in person. I
finally.
actually
And
saw him online first, and
what
then
can you say about our next guest? Because he's a historian, he kind of exposed what you don't really read in the textbook. He goes beyond. What can you say about that? Our next guest.
first of all, when I heard historian or also what he does, I just find him very intelligent and also very a lot of wisdom, because that's something that we actually need more, like to acknowledge our culture and to share that more as the generations come. So he's really impacting our community and also people who are getting to learn about our culture very, very well. So him himself is also inspiring, and I'm learning a lot through his content and like through his presence. So I'm grateful to do this with you and also with the person.
I know, no, no, because I was searching about the Filipino American History Month, and then I came across with his videos. It's very informative, very cute. There's
It
a lot of
is
animation. I don't know. He has a lot of time to.
high quality.
It's really hard work to
Yeah.
really do a content, and all the more doing a research
Yes. Oh my
that
God.
makes sure that our history is not lost in waters.
Facts.
And yeah, I really, really appreciate that. We're finally making a blog talk history as a segment. So
Mm,
we're making history today as
mm,
blog talk history.
yes.
And you are part of it,
Oh,
Jojo.
thank
So this
you.
is very historical moment for all of us.
Mm,
And let me just read to you a little bit more about our guest, who is a distinguished Filipino historian, culture barrier, and content creator like yourself,
ah,
based in California, as a co-founder of the Bulusan Center for the Filipino Studies at the University of California, Davis, UC Davis. I have a lot
mm,
of friends there.
oh,
Kirby has authored numerous books exploring Asian American, Philippines, and Southeast Asian histories. His academic journey includes education at Harvard and UC Davis, where he developed his passion for teaching Filipino history and culture through indigenous scripts. Kirby's popular YouTube channel features a wealth of engaging content that delves into historical narratives and diverse cultural insights, attracting a global audience eager to learn. Wow, it's so much stuff. We were going to pick his brain tonight.
let's
So
go.
please welcome to the show, Kirby Araulo.
Woo! Go Kirby! Woo!
Kirby!
Welcome.
Kirby!
Hi, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
that
you.
wonderful
We finally
introduction.
made it.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. It's an
And
honor to be
I
here.
know you're just overcoming under the weather, and I said I'm over the weather,
Yes,
and
I'm
Jojo,
middle.
she's in the
you
mid
know,
weather.
please don't go under the weather, Jojo.
I'll do my
Stay
best.
healthy.
So
Look up
Stay
and
in the
how
down.
you
middle.
how you been? I know you just
Mm.
came from the Philippines and doing vacation. How is your experience coming
Yes.
back from the Philippines?
That was fun. It wasn't really a vacation. It was because it was a mix of a vacation, but I did a TED talk in De La Salle University in Manila. But I also surprised my dad. Nobody knew I was gonna go to the Philippines. I actually even forgot to tell my mom because she was gonna go the next day. So I got there the day
Oh
before
my
she
God.
got there. So I surprised everybody. But yeah, it was fun. It was great being back home for a few weeks.
Yeah, that's amazing. And is it been really your dream? I know you were
Mhm.
your dream to become a historian. Share us a little bit why you got into when you were young. What was really
Okay.
fascinated you growing up? Share us.
I didn't. Good question. It's like a
I
personal
know,
history.
I know. I thought
When
the
I was
same.
young, hi Teddy.
Teddy is listening. Okay, come on.
When I was young, I don't think I have a specific. I had a lot of dreams. I wanted to do different things. I kept changing my mind. But the very first dream I had was actually to be a priest. Until my grandma told me they don't
Wow.
marry, they can't marry. So I was like, oh, I was like
Oh
2 year old, like they
no,
can't
yeah,
marry.
you're right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that kind of changed it. But yeah, I had a lot of different dreams. But in terms of my passion for history, it kind of started when I was young in the Philippines in Pampanga, when Mount Pinatubo erupted. It's a long story, but long story short, my grandma was in um, the tourism officer for my city, and her job.
Oh.
Oh no, I think sorry about that.
That's okay. Tech issues. Yeah, my passion for history started in the 90s in the Philippines when my grandma was in the tourism what do you call this tourism department of the city. She led the city's tourism office.
Mhm.
So her job was to uplift the community because it was after the Mount Pinatubo eruption, if you're familiar with it, when it was like the end of the world for a lot of towns in Pampanga.
Yeah,
There were
yeah, I'm familiar. I've actually
yeah
experienced it. I was in the Philippines at the
yeah,
time.
it was a big eruption. So everybody just felt like it was the end of the world. So my grandma's job and her office was to really celebrate the culture and uplift the community. So just following her, my nickname in Pampanga back then was Iki, which is the American Kapampangan for buntot or tail, because I was just tailing behind my grandma. So yeah,
Wow.
that's how I had started my passion for history and culture, just following my grandma around, learning, just
Oh.
absorbing everything that they were talking about when I was young, and yeah, and now I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah, Jojo, what question can you ask to Kirby? The floor is yours.
Oh, wow. Okay. No, one of the questions that popped up was, what is the core memory that you can remember from that time that led you up to be where you're today, that like inspired you to do
Uh-huh.
where you are right now?
Uh-huh. So that's a good question. One more memory I had is just seeing how a lot of people suffered during that time. As a little kid, I was 3 years old. Um,
That's young.
just seeing everything that's happening around me. It was like a week that is there's no sunlight, for example, because it was just ashes in the skies and it was just dark.
I
Oh,
remember that. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
it was dark.
It
Hmm.
looks like like noon. It looks like
Uh-huh.
in the
Midnight.
mm.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
bad. So yeah, just seeing houses that are, because it wasn't just the eruption. I think my core memory from that time was really afterwards. I remember like houses being buried in mud that overnight becomes like hard.
Oh, wow.
So it's called lahar. I'm not sure if people are familiar with it. So it's like mud flow from the volcano, and then after like a few hours overnight, it hardens. So that buried the
Mm.
entire towns. I just remember because my dad was actually in the disaster office during that time, so he would take me with him during the rescue operations when it's safe enough for
Oh,
a little 3 year old kid
dang.
to be with
Three
him.
years old. Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was probably the core memory that really, I
Wow,
guess, pushed
scary.
me to do what I do.
Wow, that's really it's really it brought back
Uh,
memories as well when you mentioned about that, because when we go out you have to bring an umbrella, and it's
umbrella, yeah,
really smelly, and you can smell it. And then
uh,
up to now I can still
yeah,
smell it because it was just a very horrifying experience.
yeah.
And yeah, I think at the time I was in Pangasinan,
Oh yeah,
uh, because the Mount Pinatubo, it reached the whole entire world. It changes the whole
yeah.
entire weather.
Hmm.
the whole entire world because of Mount Pinatubo.
Oh wow, that powerful.
Yeah.
That's very powerful. And well, thank you for sharing that. And
Wow.
now,
Uh-huh.
assimilating, let's talk about your assimilation
Yeah.
from the Philippines to United States, and yeah, your assimilation to United States, and how did you get into Harvard?
Um, what do you call this? So I moved to the US. I migrated when I was a teenager in high school, actually. So I finished my high school in SoCal, in Artesia High. In Lakewood.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're from Cerritos, I'm from there.
Oh,
So that's
Oh
where
wow,
I
so you
finished high school.
really
Yeah.
high school here in SoCal.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to 562 area code.
562.
That's still my area code. But yeah, I studied high school in SoCal, and then I actually transferred or did college first at Cerritos College for community college for a few years before I transferred to UC Davis.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then the Harvard thing started when we were visiting my partner's sister who studies at Harvard. So I was just like,
Oh.
oh, I could try this. Yeah, so high school in Artesia, then community college in Cerritos, and then transferred to UC Davis for my history, in bachelor's in history, and then I started my graduate studies at Harvard. So that's my journey.
Amazing, amazing. Ooh,
So
amazing
much
representing.
education. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, amazing. And
Thank you.
wow. Well, once you're done with Harvard, so what got you into, when did you start doing content creation,
Mm-mm.
like such as our
Mm,
history?
yeah, combining them together.
I'm actually not officially done at Harvard. I took a break, and then pandemic happened, so I haven't gotten back.
How
Fun
long?
fact.
How long more? How much more until you
A few
graduate?
more years, yeah.
A few more.
So it's
Yay!
a graduate program, so it's a master's program, so it's a little bit more flexible than an
Oh,
undergrad
okay.
program.
That's good.
So I
Awesome.
just have to decide when I have to or want to go back.
Yay! Yay!
Yeah,
Mm.
Awesome. One of these days I'm going to visit.
yeah. Let's go visit.
Yeah. Jojo, let's visit.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. No, your next question, Jojo, what's your next question to Kirby?
About Harvard or just in general?
Anything that really, interests you about Kirby?
Obviously, like the past and like your experiences are still very interesting, but I'm more curious about like your present self. Where is your mind right now? Like since you've went through so much in your past, like what's your mind now? Like if that makes sense.
Mm-mm. That's a really deep question.
I like to ask.
No, it's a good question. Right now, I think my mind is, I guess, finally focusing on myself,
Oh yes.
on my own, my own mental health, my own work, my own content creation, for example, because it's always been just a side hustle or side project for me. But now
Oh
I'm
wow.
devoting more time to it than ever.
Oh really? Compared to before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why is that? Because again, I'm learning about you, so.
I don't know, actually. It's just, I guess, a time that I realized, I need to focus more on this. It's because when back then nobody really knew how content creation is, how social media is. It's just for
That's
fun.
true.
But I guess now I'm beginning to take it more seriously. If that makes sense.
Completely understand as a YouTuber too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what was your first content when you
Oh,
put it out on YouTube,
good
and
question.
Let's
why
go.
why
To the-
yeah why
Uh-huh.
is why do you have to put this out, like your first ever content that you put out on YouTube?
The first
Share
ever
us.
one is actually a long time ago. My first channel was from 2005 in high school.
Oh.
So
Wow.
it was more to upload my project and also to use the YouTube one from MySpace to put music and videos on my
Oh my
MySpace.
gosh,
Oh
MySpace.
wow. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's
So that
2004, 2005. Yeah.
mhm. I took filmmaking classes in high school, so I had my projects uploaded. So it was the first, I guess, content that I ever uploaded on YouTube. But in terms of what I do now, in terms of more educational content, that started around 2012 for my second channel. And at first, I was just actually vlogging my college dorm life in Davis.
Oh.
Yeah, and then eventually I started doing more educational content on Filipino culture, Filipino history. Yeah, and now it grew. That's when it grew, actually. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Since
for it.
since again you're very intellectual and like had a lot of education behind you, like recently I actually encountered some high schoolers that graduated and then entering like college. I feel like it'll be an inspirational message to hear from you. Like, what advice could you give to those people,
Mm-hmm.
or just in general, people who are graduating or people who are
Uh-huh.
inspired to learn again?
Uh-huh. Good. For me, advice I could give them is, one is to really embrace yourself, embrace your roots. There's nothing to be ashamed of where you came from. It helps, shape us who we are. I use it as a source of strength. And don't be afraid to not know anything. That's I guess a big advice that
Mm.
a lot of high school. I've worked with a lot of high school students, particularly Filipino American high school students, who a lot of them are curious, but there's also a lot of them who are more like embarrassed that they don't know anything. So don't be embarrassed, don't be
That's
afraid that you
true.
don't know anything, because it's not your fault that you don't know anything, and it's not too
That.
late to learn. I guess,
Mm.
yeah. Don't be shy that you don't know anything, but yeah, it's not too late to learn.
Mm.
Really love that. Yeah, that's amazing. And well, that's a wonderful question, Jojo.
Oh,
Now,
these are great
can you
questions.
give us challenges? I know being an historian, you
Mm-hmm.
have to really do a deep
Uh-huh.
research so
Yeah,
you don't rely on textbooks.
yeah.
Share us the moment that when you encountered challenges that
Uh-huh.
this particular information is not good enough, it doesn't justify
Uh-huh.
enough of what I'm looking for.
Uh-huh.
Share us.
Okay. That I go through a lot of that every video, actually. So uh, where do I start? So challenges as a historian. One is because I'm a younger historian, and I guess young-looking historian. So yeah, a lot of times people don't actually trust what I say or what I share on my channel, because I just
Oh, I
because I
can see
look
that.
younger. There's that.
Do you want to expose your age or?
Yeah, I can. I'm in my mid 30s, 35.
Oh.
We're the
Yeah,
same. We're
yeah,
the same with
yeah.
Curly.
Actually, fun fact: we have the
Fun
same
fact.
birthday.
Oh
Oh,
my
really?
God.
Oh,
November 18. We're the same. We're
wow.
actually twins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jojo.
Oh,
We have the same age. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
So next
dang.
birthday,
Yeah.
we'll see you. I'll come down there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now that's a trivia, you guys.
Hmm.
Okay, go on, go on.
But yeah, just that I look younger. Nobody really, a lot of people don't, mistrust you, and also because I share what I learn or my research on YouTube, which is not a very common for a historian, for an academic to share on YouTube. So a lot of people just think I'm just a vlogger, I'm just a YouTuber, not really not really a
Mm.
historian, not really a scholar. So that's a challenge for me, I guess. Also that there's only so much you can put on a YouTube video. So
Oh,
there's
that's
a
so
lot of
true.
stuff that I want to include, a lot of information, but you also want to gauge the audience, how the attention span, for example. But yeah, those are some challenges I face as a young historian. And in terms of, like, I guess, research, also the big challenge for us Filipino historians is that a lot of our history is um, not yet explored as much as other countries, if that made sense. So a lot of our
Really?
histories are still, a lot of it is written from the colonizer's perspective, for example. So we have to, um, for example, my goal in my channel is to provide a different perspective from our people's perspective of our own history, using the same sources that we have. Yeah, and also not dismissing oral traditions, because that's a big deal when it comes to
That's true.
being a academic historian, is that we professionally we are trained to rely on written sources. So what I learned from ethnic studies is to really also value oral traditions, what has been passed down. So I guess
Oh.
that's my biggest challenge as a young historian, is to balance that, what's written
I
and what's
really
Mm.
love that you want to balance. You don't want to just
just
go on
focus
that
on. Yes.
one
That's a lot.
Yeah.
resource,
Yeah.
and the fact that you don't want to just rely on that. And
Mm-hmm.
I know this is going to be a very kind of tricky question for you, Kirby. How accurate our history, and do you believe
Oh.
that our history got sugar coated? Share us.
Mm-hmm. How accurate? It depends, I guess. It's
I know I put you on the spot.
yeah. Um, I think for me, what's there's a lot of information out there, and some of them are very accurate. Some of them are actually sugar coated, like what you mentioned. Um, again, for me, it's really just finding the balance between the two perspectives, or the different perspectives. So it's really hard to say overall if our history is accurate, because um, I guess what I'm gonna say is that if you went to school in the Philippines from grade school to high school, the history there is not as accurate as it should be. So
Oh.
that's a controversial statement, but but the textbooks in our history textbooks in grade school and high school in the Philippines have actually not been updated for a long time. So we know a lot of things now that we didn't know back in the 80s. That
Oh.
there's some stuff
Interesting.
that's still there from the 80s that have been proven
No,
false or something. Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I took history here in the States about Cold War. And then I
Mm-hmm.
asked this question to my professor. He's actually younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
and I was like, don't you know that, do you know about Paris Treaty that they sold the Philippines for 20 million to America? And he was like, what? I did not know about that. I mean, he's literally my professor and he doesn't know about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And what can you say about that? That some professors
Mm-hmm.
are kind of ignorant the way I look at it because they relied
Uh-huh.
on what they know. They did not go
Mm-hmm.
outside the box. So,
Mm-hmm.
what can
Mm.
you say about that as a historian?
I don't know who they are, but but for those of for historians, it's important to get out there, to I guess what I'm like, for scholars, because a lot of scholars are out there, but some of them are not. So I guess it's important to really go talk to the people, get immerse yourself in the community that you're studying. Don't just, because a lot of people just study from afar, study from books. But if you really meet the people, then you gain a different perspective on things. Yeah.
I know the histories are there's so many biases because, for example, you're in the Western world, they want to dominate, they want to be the superior compared to
Mm.
the other race, and they want to be looked down on them. How how
Hmm.
I mean, how do you balance that? I mean, from reading from different peer reviewed, and here you are, and also comparison with variety of the history from the ancestors.
Hmm.
How do you compile that together, and how do you decide whether it be this is
Hmm.
this is a sugar coated or this is for real, and
Hmm.
how do you scale it?
Hmm.
Because sometimes we're relying on just textbook, and then
Hmm.
also when you go ask someone, it can be passed down to generation, it can be false too. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my big question,
Uh-huh.
in my head. How
Uh-huh.
can is our history really happen, or they just fabricated it?
Hmm.
Share us.
um I guess one way to do it is to always question the source. So always have that, like, oh, who wrote this, who said this, what are their perspective,
Mm.
who are they, what are they in society, for example. Yeah, so always question the sources, and look at multiple sources. Don't just look at one or two sources, look at multiple
Mm.
perspectives, and then always question them, and then compare their different perspectives, and then you'll be able to find a balance, or something that balance it out. But yeah, just always, my first thing is to always to question the sources and always ask yourself, how would my ancestors see this from our perspective? For example, the biggest thing is how, the Philippines was discovered in 1521, but our ancestors have always been there. So is it really, Europeans discovering the Philippines, or, our ancestors discovering, oh, there's Europeans lost in our shores? But yeah.
I really love that because we already existed. Because the way they portray themselves, they were superior. Oh, because I discovered your country.
Yeah.
But no, actually, the country already existed.
Yeah.
And we already have, we're already civilized.
Yes.
And the way they portray, they put it in textbook that they treat us like savages.
Yeah.
So that's like the thing that about history books. And I just want to let this out already because many believe that, I'm sure many sugar coated with the history books in the United States, that actually the first Vietnam War is actually the Philippine and U.S. war.
Yes. Yeah.
They killed about over 100,000 young boys in the Philippines. Now that Jojo is now like very surprised because
I'm
a
learning.
bit nerdy. They
I did
totally
not know.
sugarcoated the whole entire textbook, and they just don't want you to know about. And I think that's what really happening. And I think there's going to be a movie about that because I know, of course, America want to be the superior, and they treated Filipinos like savages. So that's what happening. So what can you say about that? That finally there's some brave historian putting out the real history, really, not just hearsay per se. It really did happen. That U.S. Philippine War is really the first. Sheriff.
I think for me, there's always been historians who are accurate about it. It's just that now we're gaining more access to them, more access to the right information. Because back then, our education system in the Philippines was actually set up by the Americans. So it's set up in a way that we don't learn about it. So yeah, it's set up in a way that we only learn about the good things the United States did to the Philippines, but not the hundreds of thousands of Filipinos they killed when they invaded the Philippines, like children. There's a, if you're from Samar, a lot of people from Samar know this. At one point, they killed everybody over the age of 10 in Samar, and that's a big island. That's not a small island. That's 3 provinces.
Oh my god!
So yeah, they killed everybody over the age of 10.
You know, if you think about it, Kirby, it makes you want to hate United States. But yeah, I think we kind of embrace America, but the way it's like it makes you want to love them more. But behind that horror story is just horrifying.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're just discovering this now.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
know.
say about this?
I was thinking, like, when did they started like changing the system? Like, meaning, like, when did Americans started to like try to put that kind of history to the Filipinos? Like, yeah.
So the funny thing is that they actually started the American school system in the Philippines started while the war was still happening. So while they're still fighting and killing people and burning villages, they already started.
Oh my god, that's so brutal.
Jojo, that's the reality, and we want to let this out. That's why we're making a history, blog talk history. We want the Filipino people to know about this, and we want to expose really what happened. That's why I'm using this platform as a blog talk history, because this is very historical. I want to, it's for real. America bought in the Paris Treaty 20 million to really hold the Philippines as their own, but really to conquer and colonize.
Yeah,
that's the real truth about what's going on. That's why they did a lot of sugarcoating in our history. And that's why I want to point that to Kirby, because I'm a bit nerdy behind the scenes. So,
you guys are smart.
that's my other side. I'm a bit nerdy, really, but I'm into history. So now, having said that, I know we can change our own history. I think it's by telling the truth and telling the real story. So we should not be afraid, because we have all this medium. We
Mhm.
tell, it's amazing now with this technology that we're free. Freedom
Mhm.
of speech. This is amazing. We're in
Mhm.
America.
Mhm.
So, so what can you say about that compared to communism to other countries versus America being free, freedom of speech?
Mhm. Um, well, sharing these more hidden history for me, it's I don't share it to make people hate America. Some people do that,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
think
yeah.
that I hate America just because I shared what they did to the Philippines. But it's more of like, really learning where we came from, why we're even here in the United States, and really, because to be fair, we had allies in the United States. There are people in the United States. Mark Twain was one of them who supported the Filipinos during that time. A lot of African Americans actually switched sides during the war and joined the Filipino army against Americans. So it's a complicated history. For me, it's more about learning about where we came from and how we can,
Yeah.
how can we can use that to bridge the gap, or to build a better society from the lessons of those experiences. How can we basically not repeat what happened in the past in our society
Absolutely.
today? Yeah.
Absolutely. This is really a deeper conversation. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know definitely we're gonna have a part two because we already started this Kirby blog talk history. Yeah, I'm inviting you again to co-host this as a permanent segment.
Yay.
And Jojo, you are always welcome here to co-host with me and in any
Oh,
other segment like Blog Talk Hollywood, Blog
Yeah.
Talk Music, Blog Talk everything. So
everything.
yeah, so
So much
now
to
having
learn.
said that, can you give us
Uh-huh.
three fun facts only here on Blog Talk, Kirby?
Fun facts. I shared some already. But fun facts three. I have three guinea pigs.
Oh, oh my God. How old
They're in
are
the other
they?
room right now.
Oh my gosh.
I
So
had
but
a
I got
school
Teddy. I
of
got Teddy
yeah.
though.
Hi, Teddy.
Got Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy's so cute. The oldest one right now is 5. The other
Wow.
one, the other two are actually both a year and a half. But
Oh,
we had older ones that passed away. The oldest one I've had passed away last
Oh
year, and
no. So sorry to hear
she was
that.
10. She was 10 actually when she passed away. She almost, yeah, it
10.
was like a
Oh
few
my
days before
God.
her 10th birthday, which is actually unheard of for guinea pigs. The average age for guinea pigs is 5 to 8, and she was
Oh
10.
wow.
Mhm.
Oh.
Okay,
That's one fun
two.
fact. Two more. Um, 3 guinea pigs. I have 3 sisters and 3 brothers, all younger.
You're the oldest.
Yeah,
Oh wow. You're the kuya.
yeah. And then I already mentioned that I was 3 when Pinatubo erupted. I guess one last one. I speak more than 3 languages.
Oh,
Okay.
you're multilingual.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, which one are they? Which one?
The ones very fluently would be English,
Mm.
Tagalog, Kapampangan, and Spanish. And then I
Oh.
understand Italian.
Wow. Oh my God.
Ah,
My
Italian.
dad lived,
grazie.
That's
Buongiorno.
yeah, my dad lived in the Philippines 15
Grazie.
years, so
oh.
yeah.
Wow.
Jojo, since I have you here, three fun facts about
Yeah.
Jojo.
Oh my God. I didn't realize. Three fun facts. I
Only
mean,
here on Blog Talk.
here on blogs, it went so simple in my mind. Those are really good fun facts.
I know, put you on the spot.
I what are some fun facts? I mean,
I know.
okay, the ones that popped up, it's more simple. Some of my friends know this is very random, but I really, really love meat. That's one fun fact.
Who?
Meat. Like I mean, like
Uh-huh.
I'm a meat lover.
You're a meat. Oh, you're a carnivorous.
Yeah.
Carnivorous.
I think that
Yeah.
can be connected to our roots too.
Yeah, we eat
Okay,
a lot of meat.
two.
Number
Number
two.
two.
Oh my God, what's number two? Um, I really love the night because I feel like you could. I feel like because things are quiet, you could connect with yourself even more. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so unique.
is
Yeah.
it?
I
So
agree.
that's why a lot of the times, like we're all busy. So when it comes like nighttime, it's like time for myself kind of
Uh-huh.
situation.
So three.
Last
Three.
one.
Very fun fact. I mean, did I share this? Oh no, I did maybe. Like a lot of my subscribers are from Indonesia.
Oh
Oh
wow.
wow. How do you greet Indonesian?
Oh, I just say hello or like usually at the end of my videos I say terima kasih, which is like thank you.
Yeah.
The apa kabar, like how
Oh
are
yeah.
you? Very very simple, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So now, I'm just gonna ask you guys this. So, how is it? How is your experience like attending the Diamond Year of Blog Talk? So,
Oh no. Wait. What happened?
It
It got
cut off.
yeah. It got cut off.
like, how was your experience
Uh,
attending the 10th year anniversary in Hollywood?
it was fun. Really fun. Meeting people in a more relaxed setting. Yeah, because I think the last time I saw MJ, no, not the last time I saw MJ, but the first time I met MJ was at the red carpet at the film festival. So going to the party, it was more like relaxed. You get to know the people more, and not just like walking the red carpet and stuff. But yeah, it was more fun.
Hey,
Meeting
Jojo.
Jojo, yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
so honestly for me it was very, very like I said, very very fun, intimate. It really showed of a reflection of MJ, and I
Yes.
got me to learn more about MJ through the
Yeah.
people that were there. So it's like
Yeah.
obviously all of us are different, and that's what makes it very special and unique. But at the same time we were there in a similar frequency kind of energy, so it was
Yeah.
really interesting. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And
Celebrating
this is really an history because we just launched the Blog Talk History.
Aw.
So with this segment, we're going to be talking about any kind of history, but of course, we talk about our Philippine history because we dedicated this platform to global Pinoy. As you may know, we want to shout out to Good News Filipinas. We have article there every week.
Hi.
So this particular interview will be in goodnewsfilipinas.com.
Oh my
I didn't know that.
So making every Filipino proud.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, and shout out to Angie and of course Rico Hizon, the senior editor of the CNN Philippines. He's the senior
Yeah.
editor of Good News Filipinas.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
shout out to him. And
I watched it.
and one last word, Kirby, a word of wisdom to all our audience.
Mm-mm. Huh. Um, one overall word of wisdom to the audience would be, I guess, something I learned from my dad and just growing up is that nobody's perfect.
Oh, facts.
So don't pressure yourself too much to be perfect because nobody's perfect. Just be better every day. Nobody has the answer to everything, but every one of us is great at something, and we can all contribute to something. But yeah, nobody's perfect. Everybody's good at something. And then for content creators, there's a lot of us now in the Philippines. Filipino content creators are one of the biggest number of content creators.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. There's a lot. My advice for the younger ones or the ones who are starting would be something I learned the hard way. Not something I learned over the years the hard way. Would be don't chase the audience. Don't try to always chase the audience. Like, oh, this thing is viral. Let me try to do it too. Don't just be true to yourself. Like for example, my channel, I used to vlog, and then I switched to just sharing what I know, sharing what I'm passionate about, history, and then that's when my channel blew up, I guess. I now have 99,000 subscribers. 99,000. Yeah. So one more thousand. So if you
Let's go.
subscribe yet,
Yeah,
I can get my
Jojo
little
and I will be the guest in your show soon.
yeah,
In your
collaboration.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
That'll
Take
be
me to
fun.
Korea with you.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we need to
Let me do Korea.
collaborate. But now this is for you guys. Blog Talk History segment dedicated for you, Kirby. And I think there's something cooking that we're not announcing anything
Oh yeah,
yet.
not yet.
But Jojo, word of wisdom to our audience. I know you have 10 million views on your YouTube channel. What any piece of advice? What a word of wisdom to our audience?
So similar to what Kirby said, so the way that I separated, like one is like personal, one is about consecration on social media. So the general, I would say that I counter a lot of people like talking about is like, and I see it too. It makes me sad that it affects them emotionally, mentally, which is don't care too much of what other people think and don't take it personally, because I feel like everyone is speaking out of from their personal experiences. It's a program. Everyone's speaking out from their program. It's a projection. So when you hear something that may hurt you, see it from like, oh, why did they say that? Like, what did they go through for them to say that? So just don't take it personally. Just focus on you. Just focus on your priorities and happiness. So that's like I really, really want people to do that, because it hurts me when I see people sad or like have anxiety. So, but also work through your emotions. Let your emotions flow and don't be too hard on yourself. Okay? Because like what Kirby said, no one is perfect. And then the consecration part, just do it. Just I recently talked to a friend and she was like, I've always wanted to do this, but like I didn't know how, or like they were kind of scared, which is good. Being scared is good. That means you're going through a change. So just start uploading, and like what Kirby said, don't follow the views. Yeah, that could be like inspiration, but really be authentic to yourself and just start. Yeah.
Love it. I love you both, and thank you so much for making this blog talk history a history. And we're still celebrating our 10th year anniversary of Blog Talk, and this is amazing. And well, thank you so much for being in the show. This summer gotten hotter because of you guys. And of course, absolutely, I'll put you guys in the lobby. I'll do my usual spiel for my closing.
Okay.
Salamat.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There you have it, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Summer gotten hotter because of our guest and a brand new segment called Blog Talk History. Yes, you heard that right. And we'd like to thank RLC. If you want a piece of paradise and investment, go RLC. Yes, RLC Residences. And of course, thank you so much, Destina One. And of course, it's my secret being energized Uniwave pendant, and we will put out the link out there. And of course, thank you so much, Augiliona, for my hair, Dr. Tess for my my dermatologist, and of course, shout out to Miss O, Olivia Quito, the new vice president of Miss Universe organization, and shout out and want to tell you guys the brand new Club O ambassador. And shout out to Christine and to all the team out there. Shout out to my mom and all our friends around the globe. And shout out to Lisa Lou and to all the Film Creative family. Shout out to Jenna Blaza and to all our followers. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in. Until next time, I'm your host, MJ Racadio, and you're watching Blog Talk. Bye, guys.
Introducing the Uniwave Pendant, the key to unlocking your body's full potential. Our revolutionary pendant is designed to restore your body's natural balance and vitality. The Uniwave Pendant works by rejuvenating your cells, making you feel up to 20 years younger. But that's not all. It also triggers your body's dormant stem cells, promoting self-healing and regeneration. Experience renewed energy, mental clarity, and a youthful glow like never before. Join the thousands who have already embraced the Uniwave Pendant for a healthier, more vibrant life. Uniwave Pendant, discover the power within you. Order yours today and start living your best life. Scan to get more info or contact us at